everyone's clamoring for it, but you can't survive with TreVeyon Henderson, I don't think,
No.
as your number one back. One, he's still nowhere near where he's supposed to be in pass protection, and that's going to keep him off the field. And he's just not that guy who you're going to be able to hand the ball to 20 times and pound it between the tackles. I mean, he tried at the end there where they really wouldn't let Rhamondre touch the ball again. Just not able to generate much there.
He averaged 2.5 yards per carry. The concern with him is the beating. Like he's just not going to be able to take it. And I know fans want him and they think it's going to be great and it's going to be like a video game if they put TreVeyon Henderson out there. But that's just not the reality of playing, 17 games in 18 weeks in the NFL against, especially a physical front like the Steelers have. I mean, those guys get after it. I mean, they're not that great, but when they, up front, Cam Hayward, TJ Watt, Herbig, Patrick Queen, when he gets through, those guys are physical, and that takes a beating. And what we know about TreVeyon Henderson is from his days at Ohio State, he cannot take that beating. So people really need to stop clamoring for TreVeyon Henderson because it's not going to happen. He's not going to last the season if they do that. What you want to do is you want to use them selectively, and really it's Rhamondre's fault for putting the ball on the ground. Gibson's doing what he should be doing. But if you think the answer is more TreVeyon Henderson, I don't wish that on you because that's not going to be a good move. All you need is, all of a sudden he's out for the season with a shoulder injury. And now what have you got?
Yeah. And honestly, this is a byproduct mainly of people just getting the majority of their information from the fantasy community, which is everybody wanted TreVeyon Henderson to smash because he's got game-breaking talent and big playability and all of that stuff. It's not going to work. You might be able to scheme him up to 10, 12, 15 touches a game, but he's not going to be your bell cow. It's got to be one of these other guys. The question is there a big enough of a drop-off between Rhamondre and Gibson where if you wanted to pull the switcheroo and go with Gibson as your lead back, how much are you losing there?
Well, you're losing a decent amount. I mean, what's going to happen is what we could see is Rhamondre is inactive for next week. That means you're going to have to sign somebody. I mean, I think they have Terrell Jennings on the practice squad. That's nobody's solution. I mean, I guess you could promote him for the game, but he's also another smaller sort of, scat back. So you're really looking for two physical backs to take that load, sort of switch off. And then really what you're hoping TreVeyon Henderson evolves into is a guy that you can line up all over the field and get mismatches, especially a wide receiver. That's not something we've really seen yet. That's something that would evolve over the season. But the more time he's got to spend as sort of a lead back, which I don't think they're going to do. I don't think they want to do it at all. So I don't think it's really a consideration. But they're going to have to figure something out because right now it's not working with Stevenson.
Well, then what do you do? Because Rhamondre has to play. He is their best pass protector. You saw him. He was still a part of it on third down. Right. And it's tough because on third downs, like you prepare an entire day. So you can't just kind of swap them in because there's an entire game plan element of that. But like we know Rhamondre is valuable there. But then on early downs, like I agree with Greg. I've been saying it. TreVeyon cannot be your every down back. I'm sorry. He's just not built to be that kind of guy. Even when you see him like getting tackled, he's a smaller guy. He delivers some punishment and there's some pop there. It's not going to look like that if you keep handing him the ball consistently for 17 games. So that's the first part. Then Antonio Gibson, how much can you trust him? He's awesome with the ball in his hands. I literally tweeted right before the fumble, man, every time Antonio Gibson gets a handoff, something good happens, and then fumble. I took responsibility. I'm so sorry, Pat's Twitter. But I mean, it's just I don't know.
Yes, you did. I saw that.
Gets opportunities. Yeah, I took my medicine, but it's just a bizarre situation because your two guys that you'd like to be the early down guys, more of a rotational role, have ball security issues. They have to fix it. It's really as simple as that. But if it happens in another game, you can take that because I don't even know what you do if this happens again next week.
Yeah, I'm with you on the doghouse, John. Like, don't bench him just to make him sit here and have the 60,000 people look at him and be like, you stink. You're out. You're not on the field because you didn't do it. Like, there has to be an element where, oh, this is because we physically can't trust you to help our offense, right? So in the middle of a game, I get putting him down and shelving him because, oh, this might end up being contagious for himself and he might go out there and fumble again, which he did tonight. But I look at it too like the kicker situation last week where I asked Vrabel this on Monday where he went through so many kickers in Tennessee and they just cut bait and cut bait and cut bait and didn't give the guy a second chance to sort of redeem himself. I think Stevenson's in a different position than that because he's had the ability to redeem himself fumbling the football and hasn't got it done. So they are in a sticky situation because this is one where if you had, I guess the running back room is already pretty deep, but you can't just cut bait with Rhamondre Stevenson and rely on Antonio Gibson and TreVeyon Henderson as your two running backs. It's just not going to happen. So
yeah,
you have to keep giving him the chance. You got to give him the ball and kind of hope he works it out of himself because he did over the first 2 weeks. He was fine. He fumbled in the preseason, I think, at one point, but in the first 2 regular season games, he was fine. He had a great week last week, so it's going to be up and down with him. I don't know how you handle it.